Hello, welcome to the channel. It has been a pretty extraordinary week. Going to talk about Binance and its hack, why that is kind of a unique opportunity for people that want to learn how to do cryptocurrency the right way and not lose their Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about the rest of the week, the news. Friday is where I talk about the news, FOMO, FUD, whatever you want to talk about, it is probably going to be in here. A good mixed bag in this one due to the obvious hack. I want to talk about that first. But throughout this, I'm going to be teaching you something pretty unique and why this industry is a bit of a minefield for opportunities, for elements of an upper hand, which is somewhat exaggerated, as you can see by the hack with Binance, and why that hack kind of happened and what elements were compromised, which Binance have no real control over. We got the hack from it, so there you go. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button if you are new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn more. You know, keep flooding through the gates, keep subscribing, hit that thumbs up. Let's get as many likes as we can and let's enjoy this one. Let's give it the beans. See you in a minute. Right, let's talk about it. Binance has lost 7,000 Bitcoin. Luckily, Binance is a pretty well-oiled machine in terms of finances at the moment because they're making loads. But fundamentals of it is they are going to cover it. But we're going to talk more about it, right? It was a complete cock-up, complete and utter shambles in terms of how it happened, because if you've learned the right way about cryptocurrency, you would not be using some of the elements or some of the stuff that would have compromised your accounts anyways. Personal opinion. You need to learn security. It's freaking paramount. You are owning your own destiny in terms of your money, right? That's why decentralization is awesome. However, Binance is as centralized as you're going to get, I will add. Okay, so don't worry about that too much at the minute until they go into a DEX and make it a bit more secure. Binance are very, very centralized in terms of how they operate and run. CZ is an absolute huge behemoth of a whale these days, and he has a lot of influence on the market, and so does his exchange, funny enough. Now, so what happened? The 8th of May, I woke up needing an old man wee, because I'm getting old now. It's on my phone, ping, 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 ping. My dog was whinging like buggery because she probably got woke up by the vibrations, as you do. And ultimately, I saw that Binance had a security breach. I was like, oh, God, here we go. I looked at my portfolio and thought, oh, it's alright, you know, it's not dumped yet. Yeah, it didn't, which is the scariest thing about this. So, in terms of a unique opportunity, you've got two here. We've got the fundamental element of support that is holding somehow, I don't know how, after Bitfinex cock-ups and Binance hack. Amazing. So that fundamental video I did a few weeks ago is doing freaking awesome. It's working. So, what does this mean for us? Nothing really. It happens. Withdrawals are stopped for a while. You can't deposit in there whilst there's an investigation. Not to say that there's any inside information that we could get out of that, but you never know. They're going to cover the funds, all that good stuff with the safe asset funds, whatever you want to call it these days. I don't even know. What's the abbreviation for it? SAFU. Yeah, whatever that means. Safe asset fund, basically, for the users. So, what does it really mean? The API keys technically were the things. API keys and two-factor authentication. So what does this mean? This is just basically human mismanagement of you, the user, you. Yes, you watching the video. If you are using services that connect an API to your exchanges, you are at risk because you are given authorized rights to read the access of, you know, the exchange. So, for example, if you're using like a coin hopper, it's an example. What they do is they give you alerts over certain trades, and it connects to the blockchain of the exchange, so that you can see your side of it, and you can see the exchange in terms of what it wants to give you as data information. When they're compromised, it's an issue because it can go from read only to read all or access all, whatever you want to call it. So it can actually use those withdrawal settings. As simple as that. And what it will do is it will go, okay, tick the withdrawal, tick all access, tick all whatever. Phew, God, I've now got access to your wallet. Thanks a lot. That's what kind of happened in a way. Same with two-factor and phishing. What they did was they used links. So basically, step one is the phishing side of it. They would have got a link into you. You would have clicked on it. It would have been stockpiling a load of data for that exchange over a period of time. And then when the time was right, they would have just went, boom, let's go. Off we go. And that's what happened. It's simple as that. So it's not a sort of thing where it happens overnight. Not some little greasy person in a basement going, I'm going to hack Binance tonight. It's a well thought out plan. It's done over a period of time. It'll be done through so many links that you will not even believe that would be put out in all the Telegram groups, all the forums, emails, whatever. You click on one of those links, you have got access to a back door into that bloody person, basically. It's like, whoa. So, if you are looking to learn about cryptocurrency, hit the links below, okay? I teach people, and security is probably one of the biggest things I teach. I was in the police, in the Royal Air Force, and I did a lot of courses about online security, OPSEC essentially, and I knew a lot about all this kind of stuff before I even got into crypto. So back when I joined 5-6 years ago now, my first few courses that I did was all about keeping myself safe, because I used to travel a lot. I used to go to some dodgy countries, and I had to make sure that my phone was secure at all times and whatever devices I was using at the time. Ultimately, it is the same thing. I have the same security methods all around with crypto. I do not do certain things in public, essentially. Why would you? So if you're the sort of person that likes a shortcut, likes to jump on API keys to give you alerts, to give you trading bots and all that, you're going to lose. I can guarantee you will lose, because at some point, somewhere, you will get one of these and it'll hit you like a ton of bricks, especially if Bitcoin keeps going up in price. You'll be devastated if you lose a couple of Bitcoin. Now, let's talk about a few things as well. We've obviously had this. I don't know what came out worse, the hack or the reorg proposal. Right, what is a reorg? Reorg is basically turning back time of a blockchain to get their funds back. Wow, that is like, I don't even know, I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. It's as much use as a hedgehog in a condom factory. It really is that pointless. Why would you do it? One, blockchain is the decentralized blockchain pretty much around. You can't really go back in time and remute the data from a remutable blockchain, because it's kind of defeats the whole object of what Bitcoin is all about. It's like driving a car with two wheels when you got four. You're supposed to use it. It's pointless, isn't it? You don't have to do it. Now, this was addressed, and I'll be honest with you, he got slammed all over the park on Twitter and on Reddit and stuff, saying about the reorg. You cannot just roll back a blockchain. It's not built for that. Jesus. So, when you're looking at all these reorg stuff, honestly, it's virtually, with Bitcoin, it is impossible. It literally is not so much impossible, but yeah, you just, right at this stage right now, 2019, where it all is, you kind of can't do it. So, have a look at the tweets here. They're pretty interesting in terms of how much it is. The amount of power you need as well to do a reorg would be virtually impossible to get hold of. You basically need 51% of the mining power to do it. I know 51% of it is in China, but it's not all in one place. But ultimately, it's kind of, yeah, no one's going to do it. Look at that there. It's 7,000 Bitcoin isn't even worth it. If it was 7 million Bitcoin, for example, big example, things may be a bit different. Well, Bitcoin would probably die then, but ultimately, you've got to look at certain elements to do it. You cannot do it. So he was laughed out the room in some ways. Definitely would have been 100%. Yeah. So, education, right? It's not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Simple as that. I use Bybit for a leverage trade, and I put a set amount of money in there to use. Same with Binance. I use Binance, but I put a set amount that I'm willing to lose if anything goes wrong. I don't put loads of people. I know people, right, genuinely, like big players in this market who do not have a hardware wallet. They're like, I just bought an exchange. But this is because, right, they have not taken steps to take education security or just general. They got lucky. I'll be honest with you. They got lucky. They bought into XRP very, very early. They got into like the likes of Tronics in ICO sale because they were tipped off that it would do well. And what happened? They went bang. They've just got Bitcoin and Ethereum just kicking around on exchanges. Some people I know don't even know where their money is or what exchanges are on them. Exchanges might have already gone belly up by now. So, education. Hit the links below. My Telegram group. I can teach you there on my channel. It's honestly, if you want to learn about security, you will be so annoyed if Bitcoin goes up to 50k in, say, the next 3 years, for example, not a prediction, and you've had a moment in your life where you've lost an element of Bitcoin, it stacks up. And look at all these people that lost Bitcoin or whatever on landfill sites. You cannot just go and be careless. It is money. It is genuine money. So, right, let's go away from it. Let's leave Binance alone. Next bit of news. Fidelity will start institutional trading within Bitcoin in the next few weeks. This is quite a big deal. I've said this for a while, that Fidelity is one of the ones that's kind of that whip of a chain that's going to hurt a lot of people, good and bad. Whether you're pro or against it, I don't know. For me, I think it's going to offer a huge amount of influence from the market, which, if you know what to do, you can become very wealthy with. If you don't, you're probably going to die and get wrecked if you're trying to margin trade with the big boys. So, it's going to create a price pump, it's going to create fast action, it's going to create price movement. Because it's new, it's a vehicle to get money into the market via the OTC and the traditional exchanges that you've got. Ultimately, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons of what you want in the market. I think the market is too small to get any sort of influence from these guys anyways. I think the market needs to progressively grow for them to start using it more. But the other hand is, the very, very small market, a lot of money into the market very quickly will create the ginormic price pump. And what we will see with that, we'll probably see the elements of the Bitcoin dominance go through the roof again, and probably smashing altcoins down even more into the ground as usual. So be careful with what you wish for in terms of these big vehicles coming into the market. I think it needs to be progressive, it needs to be natural, and it needs to grow accordingly to the market. If you start seeing people putting a lot of money into the market, into random coins, you're going to start getting a lot of people very, very FOMO-y, and it's going to cause a bit of an issue if you are going against the market and if you are a technical analysis trader. Why am I saying that? A lot of people are saying to me, even on my comments, like, feel free if you want to comment, but people are like, oh, we're going to go down to 2,500. Yeah, probably we might, but if these all come in force, like Bakkt and Fidelity, and you've also got the Nasdaq coming in as well in certain elements, that 2,500 prediction is pretty unlikely if you've got stuff like this propping up the support of, you know, money coming into the market. So be careful what you wish for. If you're playing bear right now and you're looking at this, if you go, ooh, okay, the dump's coming, highly unlikely it's not going to happen. But that's my personal opinion. The fundamentals in Bitcoin is currently really good. The fundamentals of the market's really good. We've had 2 hacks, for God's sake. We've had all kinds of scandals in the last 2 weeks. Nothing's even farted against it. So, you know, look at that. It's really strong at the moment. But not to say that we're not going to dump. I do think there's a big retracement coming with Bitcoin. But I don't think it's going to break anything. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, we're going to go down to 4,600 and we're going to retest the moving average support in the daily. I just think if we do that, we're going to bounce back up. But I do not think we're going to flash down to 1,800, which some people are believing. That's a massive, massive drop. And you've got fundamentals of halving coming up in the next 11 months, 12 months. Litecoin halving. You've got big announcement news for like the likes of XRP coming up and EOS coming up. So, you know, Fidelity, Bakkt, all kinds of stuff. It's like, would you go against the market? I wouldn't, personally. That's my personal opinion. Anyways, let's look at XRP. Ripple, sorry. XRP. What's it called? XRP, Ripple? I don't even care anymore. Don't care. So, Ripple X Current 4.0 goes live. 200 plus customers can now integrate XRP powered XRapid. Boom. So what does this mean? More use cases, basically. So essentially, a lot of people are against XRP and how they work. Personally, I think it's a bag that you should hold just in case. It's sort of one way, like, you know, it's like that dirty secret you've got where, like, one day I wore heels to work, you know, that sort of thing. I didn't, but, you know, you've always got like one person who's got something a bit creepy about them. This is XRP, in my personal opinion. I think XRP is that one that everyone's like, I'm holding it, but I'm not going to tell anyone. That's kind of XRP. I hold it not because of the community I like. I hate the community. They're assholes. They really are. They're horrible. I hold it because I think this will just moon. I think this has got so much compression manipulation with it. It will just go bang. It will just fly out the freaking blocks. It will. Certainly with a bull period. Now, not to say that it's going to do it. not financial advice, obviously, but that is just my bag that I've got. I hold a little bit of it. I just thought, right, let's just sit on it and see what happens. Because I held XRP when I first got into crypto back in 2016. I sold it way too early and I didn't get a Lambo out of it. My bad, but it happens, you know. So I'm holding it anyways because I do think that it will spike back up to stupid heights for no apparent reason and probably come back down again. So it's a good one to potentially get some profits out of. So if you're going for profits over principles, XRP is probably one of the ones that you probably look at. Just saying. Another thing for why the fundamentals are quite good, Facebook has reversed its cryptocurrency adverts. Whoa! Probably going to get scammed now, aren't we? So obviously, do your checks to see what companies are what. Do not just go into anything because it's advertised on Facebook. You can get scams on Facebook now. They just kind of mask them in a certain way, or they'll just pay extra, ultimately, or get approval because they're certified. My company have not advertised on Facebook yet because we can't, due to the fact that we're not authorized by a education provider. Until that happens, we can get Facebook ads, but this will stop it. This will make it, okay, you can just do ads anyway. So we've got to look into it. Just be careful, guys. Honestly, do your research in terms of what is kind of happening because these are still very much out there. There's too many of them. There's some right crappy things out there. I'm trying not to swear. But ultimately, you've got to be very careful. You've got to look at... there's so much you can go into. I just can't go into it right now. I'll be here for the next week and you will be bored to tears. But if anything is giving you a generated ROI per day, it's probably a Ponzi scheme, so do not check it out. And lastly, back onto exchanges, I mentioned this the other day. This is a big thing because coin market cap are going to change the way they are operating over the next month or so. 15th of June, they are literally going to have it. So every exchange is going to be a trusted, verified source through the data that I receive. What does this mean? It means that they're going to get rid of all the wash trading bullshit that's on there and ultimately make it so it's a more transparent place of data, essentially. So really good step forward. So there you go. It's been a long day, been a long week already. So I'll be back tomorrow with some technical analysis, hopefully at some point. Hopefully if the market's good. 6 videos a week. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button and slap on a like because I want 1 million likes, please. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow.